You're now listening to the Adiel Gorel Show. Each episode, I'll bring you the latest news from my discussions with top health and wellness experts so that you can bring yourself into better health. Today, on the Adiel Gorel Show.
And going up. Breathe in and let go.
Hi everyone, we're very excited to have Alessandra Montana with us today. I believe we can learn a lot from her and we can make our lives better. Alessandra is a fascinating person. She will be speaking to us today from Tulum in Mexico, which is a gorgeous, beautiful place where I spent some time in the past. She was born and grew up in Milan, Italy. She's been currently living, in Tulum, and hence that's why she's there now. And she's a yoga teacher, a sound therapist, even better said, a sound keeper and curator at the Sonora Yoga Hall. Yoga has been deeply central, to Alessandra's life and practice. Alessandra started her journey into Mayan culture and shamanic traditions that soon were incorporated into her lifestyle, and I'm sure that we're going to learn from here. Her love of music expanded her vision into the magic world of sounds and vibration, and she started to share this wonderful medicine of overtone and magic through the magic powers of the gong, singing, Himalayan and crystal bowls, crystal pyramids, harmonium, just to mention a few. She studied with great masters in the sound domain. She now regularly presents sound offerings privately and publicly in Tulum, Mexico, France, Milan, Italy, and Los Angeles in California. Her work has been mentioned in Yoga Journal, New York Times, and Vogue Italia, Vogue Man issue. Alessandra still lives on the outskirts of the jungle, in Tulum. That's exotic. So it's a great pleasure, and it's wonderful to have you here, Alessandra.
Thank you so much, Adele, for having me. It's an honor to share the space with you today.
And let me comment also that the setting that you have there is not only going to be great for the sound, it's visually fantastic. It's beautiful. Thank you. So first, I'd like to just start, if you can tell us what drew you to sound healing and the path that you took, to where you are now.
Well, my journey into sound healing really is an evolution from my early age love of music through my life. And then is an evolution from yoga, because I met yoga. There was my big change when I left corporate behind and moved from, as I say, from the outside to the inside. And so when I met yoga with kirtan, with chanting. So for me, yoga and chanting and vibration, they come together. So once I started to deepen my interest, my knowledge, and my studies into yoga, for me was a natural step forward to really incorporate into whatever I do, incorporate music. And then, music, sometimes we have a wish, we have a dream, and then the universe works and delivers in different way. I never thought there was this kind of music, the music of the sphere, but I guess this is what I was asked for this life journey to share with others. And it's and so basically through yoga, I started with harmonium, with the chanting, and then I met the Himalayan bowls, and then I met the crystal bowl. They came to me in a very funny and beautiful learning way. And then the gong, Mr. got the gong arrived, my big
I
gong.
love the way it looks too. Yeah.
And so for me, arriving into sound healing, it was a process of growing, of transmutation on my own self, from really going deeper. Because for me, when I met yoga, coming from a bhakti and tantra training of yoga, for me, yoga, more than the asana as is so known now, for me, yoga is a feeling to be in yoga, a feeling to be in union. For me, yoga, yes, I learned yoga with the asana, of course, but then all this for me is yoga, because it takes me to a space where I can deeper go into myself, into that kind of connection with my higher self. And that was my journey. And so for me, it was just a beautiful transformational process for this love of music and vibration that I have.
Well, I can't even tell you how much sense it makes for me and for Chad, who is on the line with us, because even if we go to physics, physics will tell us we are built, of molecules, not just me and you, but the gong is built of molecules, everything. But if you go deeper to the level of, the atom, oh, that's one level. You go deeper, all we are, you, me, your microphone, my headphones are just electromagnetic waves. That's all we are. So it stands to reason that sound waves and all kinds of other waves will have a profound effect on us. Doesn't it make sense?
It totally makes sense. This is what sound healing, after all, is about. When we talk about sound healing, sound bath, sound journey, or call it whatever you want to call it, vibrational session, we really push our view, into an horizon that goes a little bit more, is going to be away from the usual horizon that we see with the normal eyes. We move into something that we not truly can see. And basically, we're going to embrace this invisible magic that is so powerful. We're embracing energy, because energy, after all, is sound, and sound is energy. Sound means energy, and energy is transmitted by changing the motion of the particles. Because sound, we are so tuned in, thinking that the sound is something that we hear and that's it. But sound is not something only that we hear. It's something that we feel, because the ears, of course, to the vagus nerve, through that channel is how we perceive the sound. But what about the rest of the body? If we are that energy, because that's the key, we need to embrace the belief that the body is a container, that who we are goes beyond the physical existence. We have to go beyond the fact, the limitation of the mind, and understand that there is something bigger that goes on about us, and is within us, and is this energy that we are. We are vibration. Everything is a vibration.
Yes, and
Everything.
in fact, I have a friend who knew that I was going to be doing this wonderful interview with you, and she posed a couple of very wonderful questions. She said, "Yeah, I know you're going to be talking about gongs and bowls and forks, maybe, but what about sounds of nature, like?" the waterfall, the waves, it's all having an effect on us, right?
Well, you just said another key word, nature. Because if you're looking at sound healing, or healing with sound and vibration, again, how you want to refer to this medicine, if we have an harmonic approach of healing with sound with the elementals, parenthesis, nature, earth, water, and so on. So in a harmonic approach to healing with sound with elementals, what does it teach us? It teaches us that the pure sound of nature carries the life energy, the chi itself. So it means that stars descending, nature observe, and then here we are in front of nature. And what happens? Well, we are vibrational being, and we're gonna be affected by resonance. So when we are in that environment of nature, we tune into the frequency of nature. And there's nothing more deeper than nature and silence as sound healing. Because sound healing nowadays, all this is cool, I love it. But that's not only sound healing. Sound healing is a different thing. I mean, it's also this, but what is really sound healing? It's more wide. There's more aspect to taking. And nature is the main one. Nature is healing. Think about when you go on vacation. Think about when you come to Tulum. You just need 3 days and you feel brand new. What happened? Within those 3 days, within that period of time, your bone structure, your cellular structure, your entire structure, all the levels of your being, from the physical to the mental to the emotional to energetic, anything, is being touched by the resonance of the ocean, the sand, the jungle, the air, nature. And you're going to start vibrating at that frequency. Therefore, you're changed. Because
Right, and it's not only sound, it's when I walk with my bare feet in the sand.
it's vibration.
Yes.
And sound is a vibration. Sound is a vibration. Vibration is a sound, and we know that the universal vibration contains us, all of us.
So I mentioned some of the, instruments that you use, but can you tell us, I mean, I think you'll do a much better job. What instruments do you use? And I think I can see some of them right there in front of you and behind you.
Yeah, this is I was testing some sound for some recording that I'm doing. And so I thought it was a good setup to keep for the interview. I use different instruments. Each of them, they work in a different way. Each of them, they are felt and they resonate in a different way. Crystal balls, gongs, shruti box, it's a small version of the harmonium, Himalayan bowl, and some, more tribal kind of instrument. But at the end, of course, each instrument also corresponds to an element. The gong is pure fire, is pure transformation. Crystal is pure water, Shruti harmonium is air, voice. Drum is the earth. So I like to use the instrument more than the concept of the instrument itself. Of course, there is the knowledge, the study. I like to really work to see the instrument as the elemental that is carried. And to that element, when you do the sound healing, you work, you're going to use the sound of the earth to ground people, to make them arrive into the body. But then you need to transform them. You had to break into the field. So you're going to bring fire in, but then you have to wash everything away. So there are crystals. So it's energy that we're talking about. And these instruments, that's what they give us: vibration, healing, sound, energy. Because the sound, and when they're going to start playing, what happens? We're going to feel like wrapped. You ever felt you feel like wrapped by this sound, the sound bath? Why they call it sound bath? Because you feel like you are showered or bathed with this sound. And what they do, these instruments, they're going to start creating these holistic tones. They are long rolling waves. Then they're going to start filling up the space, the sound field, and they're going to wrap around you, and you're going to start absorbing those. And based on which element you're going to bring in, they're going to work in a different way into your body. Because, of course, sound, as we said before, ear, yes, but what about the skin? Dermatomes. The sound goes in, meridian, boom, spine, organs. It's so.
When you explain it like this, I don't know about Chad, but I certainly have a strong desire. Really, I feel it in my body to have, an experience. I know we are speaking remotely, we are speaking by Zoom with cameras. Is it possible for you to give us a sound experience right here on the Zoom?
I can give you maybe just Himalayan bowls, or the gong. It doesn't come out really nice. I can strike the gong, but it's not really nice. And that's why I'm not offering any live streaming, because the live streaming completely changed the quality, especially of the gong, because it's so difficult to capture the gong with all the different tones and earths and frequency that is creating. But I can do some Himalayan bowl, yes, and some crystal bowl, of course.
Can you?
Absolutely. So, since you are receiving in the name of everybody that's watching us, close your eyes. and start connecting the present moment. Start connecting with your body in your space, where you are. Your body is occupying a space within your space. Feel it. Be aware that you are a body as well. But with the breath, breathe within and realize that you are much bigger than the body. And start connecting with the breath. The bridge from the outer to the inner. And start catching that flow of life coming in and going out. Breath in and let go. and welcome back.
Whoa.
So what was that we did? It was a little journey, a little bath, but what is sound healing? And we ever ask what is sound healing? It's like what it is for real. Beside playing, it's just playing. Something more.
You know, when I meditate and I go deep, there's a place off to the center, to the left of my belly button, that when I go deep in meditation, I feel it. It's not right on my back, it's to the left, but it's always there. And so when you were doing this, in about a minute and a half or two, I went right there to this place, and it's a very visceral, pleasurable feeling. But I knew that I was going deep.
And that's what sound does. It really takes you, when it goes in, you know, always we say before starting a session, or when we teach and train people, we say, teach and tell that to not force that journey into, okay, I want to go there, I want to feel there, I want to experience there. Leave the mind out of the journey. Because once the sound goes in, once it goes in, he is looking for the cells and to make them vibrate, because he's looking for the place where the cells are not vibrating. So he knows, the sound knows where to go. So in your case, probably it's going to work into that specific point. So it's a beautiful thing, because it's really a sound healing. It's, you know, if we have to look at a generic definition of what sound healing is the intentional usage of certain instrument to create an environment that become catalyst for healing. That's what it is. It can be, the instrument can be nature or it can be instrument. But really, for me, it's a moment of self-love that you give to yourself, because it is a moment that you acknowledge that you want to come back into balance, into peace, into the natural state of the mind, of the heart, calm and peace. And as well, you know, it's a powerful tool of transformation. I saw myself what the sound did to me in the course of the years that I've been studying and practicing and teaching sound. And really, it's a moment where we decide to resonate at a higher level, because we know that we're going to go into that space of resonance where we're going to be transmuted to the sound. So sound healing is really, there is Fabian Maman, there's one of the, I don't know if you know him, is one of the first people that start studying the effect of the sound, acoustic sound, on the cell. And he says that sound healing or vibration, it's a way to give hope to the soul. And I like it very much.
It's beautiful. So clearly, what you just gave us was a sound bath. Is that what you'd call a sound bath?
Sound bath is when you play instrument, you create an environment that is gonna, in a certain way, take you to a deeper connection with yourself.
Stay tuned for part 2 of this interview. Thank you for joining us today. I know you love what's coming next in part 2. Be sure to click the subscribe button for more videos.